It has been a hard month. I'm not gonna lie. Let's get comfy. Hi friends. Welcome back to my channel. It has been a long, and I'm not gonna lie, a very trying month this month. Part of what I was gonna show you for this month's video was this drawing that I've been working on, which I actually really like, but I had some issues with it. And just honestly, this whole month has been rough. First I had my knee issue, then I had my back issue, and the back thing really took it out of me. And then I got my period. And I was just, not feeling good because of that. It was like just one thing after another. And meanwhile, when my back was hurting, my knee mysteriously wasn't really bothering me. It was weird. So whatever. Knee, back, period. And then my air conditioner goes out. In Texas, it is 1,000,000 degrees. So, you can't be without an air conditioner for very long in Texas. I mean, you can, but it's gonna be miserable. So I have this one person come and he's like, it's this thing, and don't worry, it's under warranty, I think. And he's like, but I can't do this. I can't fix it until 3 or 4 more days. And I was like, ugh, I don't know if I want to wait 4 days. So I call another place and they come out and they're like, well, it's this other thing and it's going to take, maybe 2 weeks to get the part. I am just like, wow. Just like, what? Okay. But, I'm very fortunate because my mom lives next door to me. So I'm able to go to her house and enjoy her air conditioner if I need it. But, there's just something about being in your own house. I want to be in my house. I don't want to be in anyone else's house, even though they have air conditioning. I want to be here. I want to be able to go to my studio. I want to be able to work. Anyway, as it stands right now, it is Saturday and I am still waiting for my air conditioning to be repaired. The second person that I called still hasn't gotten back to me on the part, but the first person that I called said that he got the part, which is a different part than the second person said, and he said that he can come and fix it, but it probably won't be till Saturday night or Monday morning. It's okay. It's 94 degrees. This is a cool week for us down here in Texas. It's about 88 degrees in my house. You can tell by my dewy and balmy skin. This has been a really trying month. I've been in grad school. I know I mentioned this to you guys already. I've been taking a class, my very first graduate school class, and that has been super fun. I know I've been a little behind on Patreon, but I'm sorry, and I'm gonna do better. For today's video, for this month's video, I really wanted to make, I had this idea in my head about this sort of accordion book, little town. I thought that I could, open them and they would reveal the little building, right? The buildings, plural, because there's a lot, right? This one's my favorite, but the paper was torn, so it's a little, it's patched up, right? And there's my empty one again, right? This was just not very enjoyable to work on. I originally did all of the gouache at the beginning, and I let that gouache be very loose. It was like an underpainting. It was very rough. And then I did another round of painting where I added details. A little bit of very loose details. And then I came in with my colored pencil. I used my favorite Prismacolor 901 to do all the details. And that's where I just really wasn't feeling it. I mean, I enjoyed the overall product, but the paper's so thick, the pencil, I don't know. I just felt like it took a lot out of my hands. My hands were tired. I was writing and drawing and drawing and drawing, and my hands were getting tired. I just didn't want to do it. I've never, or maybe just in a long time, I haven't felt that kind of lack of motivation. I really had to force myself to come in every day and finish this so that I could finish this video. I just didn't enjoy the process for some reason. It might have been just a lot of things going on with me. Usually I just feel like drawing is something that, you know, I really use as a form of reflection, relaxation, meditation even. I always find drawing to be really good for me. But this drawing was, I don't know. I just didn't enjoy it. And so, I don't know. I wonder if when you are not enjoying something, should you keep going? So anyway, I have the drawing. I'll finish it off with you. Really, I just have like 2 more sections, maybe 3 sections to paint. And then I'll show you the final product. One of the things that I messed up on this was, when I started this painting, I forgot to record. I didn't hit record on the first part of the video. So I ended up without any footage for that. Whoops, went crooked. Because I was looking up here. You gotta be paying attention. So that was really unfortunate and really, you know, hurt my feelings. It hurt my feelings because I was just so, you know, I think just so beat up by this month. Beat up by June. June just really did me dirty. And yesterday when I was like editing or attempting to edit, I just, you know, was like, why? You know, I was just so, I felt battered. So then I just gave up and I watched The Bear. And I mean, I don't know, I don't even think that helped me. The Bear was very stressful, so. Okay. It's okay because now it's a new day. I got a good night's sleep for the most part. I have a sort of plan of action for getting my AC fixed. So that's, you know, that gives me some hope. I wanted to put like a light, like a street light here, but I don't think that's gonna fit here. I'm just gonna put this, and then there's, I don't know, I was gonna do, let's just do, this is a pole. Let's just do this little light hanging from over here. We'll just do our best here. I just definitely feel like something needs to stretch over here. I'm just gonna put some of these like buildings from the back, like, no, that's not what I mean. Okay, let's just see what happens here. There's some trees here. I love when the brush gets dry like this and it looks really like loose like that. I love that. I'm just gonna put a few little buildings back here, like one right here. Just because I need to have something to connect all this paper. Otherwise I'm cutting out all the negative space. Or I will be cutting out the negative space, so I have to give it something to hold it together. This is just a building in the background on the picture that I'm using, and this picture is very complex, so I'm kind of subtracting a lot of stuff from here and being very selective about what is included, because there's tons of buildings here. Actually, I could probably do that and just leave them kind of like loose and empty. Like here's another building right here. It's behind the tree. Usually I recommend, and I try to work from the back to the front, but I just didn't do that here. I'm gonna make this look more like I'll redo the tree line in just a bit. There are 2 buildings. There's also some back here. I'm gonna do some of these right here, just very stylistic. You know how like we always drew, well, did we all draw this? I'm pretty sure every kid drew this. Every artist who was a kid at one point probably drew like skylines, and you just did like, you just did geometric lines. That's what I'm doing now. The really generic skyline. Now down here there's a lot of roads, but it's blocked mostly. So I'm just gonna do some abstract shapes just to fill in that space, because I need something that's going to connect everything to the bottom here. I'm going to leave this white paper in right down here. A little bit of pink in there, you know, that's my favorite color. And I don't have the mental capacity to worry about doing this too realistically, so it's not happening. We're gonna leave this kind of abstract. I'm gonna use my pencil on it though, but I do enjoy that, so I think it'll be okay. Let's try to make something dark, like a gray for the sides of this, and it looks like I'll get some of that here. There's this right here. So it's about right there. So go in front of those buildings. Just gonna sketch it out a little bit there. Also some power lines here-ish, which I love. A power line. I'm gonna put those here. The light is on the right side. So, the shadow will be right here. This is all signage, so there's one over here. I don't know what that is. What is this right here? This is a sign for sure. There. This is a sign here. This is a sign behind the post. There's another one there, but I guess I forgot it, so it's okay. And this is another sign behind the two right there. So another part right there. Okay, good. That already kind of feels city-ish. Something's here that I haven't addressed. Hold on, here-ish. This should be under here. Just make that trees trees in the way. That's why we can't see that stuff. There we go. Okay, I like it. I like it. Now, I'll use my pencil. Like yesterday when I was doing this on my pencil, it was just, my hands were falling asleep. I was just uncomfortable. Let's see how it goes today. It's not totally dry, but I'm gonna just move forward. I still have the picture open, so I'm still kind of referencing this. And this is where I'm gonna be able to get details, because, you know, yes, you can invent some, you know, like the way we were talking about using repeating patterns when you're doing this kind of drawing stuff. But I feel like for me, it's always better if I use reference images for that kind of stuff. I'm not able, like if I do that, I can imagine some stuff, but it's gonna be a lot of the same. And I feel like that's when it starts to look kind of formulaic. I don't know what this is, but I like that little shape, so I'm gonna leave it there. But I do like that sometimes when I'm doing, you know, drawings based on an image, you know, I just kind of pick and choose some stuff, and so they end up looking really unlike the images, and I am very much about that. As further away as I can get it from the image, I think it's better, because then, you know, you're not copying it straight out, right? You're using it as sort of like inspiration, and I think that's better for your work. I don't know, tell me what you think. What do you think about that? There's windows. There's some like little umbrellas and stuff here. There's definitely people walking. Some people walking here. So I might put them in later. Like I want to add in some white there for their clothing. And I think the scale's not quite right. They should be bigger. Something like up to here. Right there, something like that. Definitely some lines on the street. Lots of trees here. Like a park right here. Just going to imply it. And I'm going to put in those people now, because they're about to get lost in this, you know, little cluster of trees. Let me try to kind of block them in a little bit more. I don't know, that still seems kind of small. Okay. Put some pants on this person. This person just has legs. Okay, that way I can at least see where they go. See, my hand is already like feeling sleepy. Just imply some windows here. Oh, I like that. I'll just leave this very loose, very implied in the background. These people, I'm gonna kind of outline them. I'm trying to make it look kind of humanish, but I feel like when you add the shoes, that usually feels more humanish. One foot here, another foot off the page. I think that's cute. I like it. I would like to put those words in. The only thing is I don't want to use this. I should use white. Let's see if I have a white pen. White pen would be so much easier. Oh, look, my white pen. The one I wanted to tell you about last time. The Signal, because these actually have letters that are white. Although the paper, let's make the paper, okay, here we go. Let's make the signs darker so that the white letters will show up better. Turn this down. That music is not it. Just really want to listen to some music and like chill and draw today. I feel like I'm going to be finished with this soon, and you know, feeling better. I just want to relax a little today. Yesterday I kind of relaxed too. We went to go see a movie. I don't remember the last time I had been to a movie. There we go. Since I have this on my brush, I'm just going to go ahead and, you know, touch up some of those dark areas. There. Right there. Okay. So now those are dark. I'm just going to give them a minute to dry. Oh, I like this. The only thing I don't like is that I didn't use any of that pink. And I feel like, I don't know, I really want to make sure it ties together with the other colors. Let's just look at it real quick. Just to tie it together, because again, it's gonna look a little, you know, out of place. So I'm gonna put it back on these little areas so that I can have the signs be that color. My dogs are like, let's go home. Let's go to the air conditioner. It's funny because, I mean, I'm not terribly uncomfortable here, but my dogs are. So, but then they want to be with me. So it's just like they're struggling. And so then I have to go next door because they're unhappy. Here, I want one more building. So what I did was I started with a large brush. I'm gonna pick some of this color. I'm gonna mix in a little of that Viridian. And I like to start with a lot of water at the beginning. So that way it'll be quick. It'll be a quick, I'm just gonna make it about the same height because I didn't want, and actually I should open this up. I need to have a general idea of where the other buildings' first and second floors are, because then it won't seem like it's to scale. I accidentally did that on one of the buildings. It was just like too big, and then it looked weird next to the other buildings. So I actually kind of had to scale it down a little. So I'm going to do so I like to do a light sketch to kind of figure out where things are going to go. Let's connect it. This is very much like a Exquisite Corpse. I need to know where the floor is gonna be so I can connect it here. This is where the first floor is gonna be. So this is where I can put like an awning, signage, and I think the one that I have here has a little awning like this. There's some extra space here. Oh, there's a little more extra space there. An awning, there's a door here. Usually I'll do a little sketch just to figure out where everything's gonna go. And this is like a little, looks like a plant, no, flowers, grocery maybe, a little grocery market. And then here's another door right here, something like that. And usually the door's a little bit like set in, so I try to put that at that line, and then these extra things can go a little below that line right here. And then there will be windows. There's gonna be about a division. Oh, they're not even, that's good to know. Right about the middle here. So I'm gonna do one window here, one window here. Just gonna mark them where they're gonna go. And there should be actually 2 floors here. So I think I need to make those a little smaller. So I'll do one window here, one window here, one window here, and then these will have to get smaller, just a little. Okay, so this is gonna give me a general placement of where everything's gonna go. In the image here, there is a little green awning, so I'm gonna use that green as well. The top of it is very light because of the light striking the top surface, and then the bottom is a little bit darker. So the top part I used a little bit of white mixed into it, and the bottom just the green, Viridian, just like that. All of this is pretty dark here. I ended up using a lot of dark greens for the windows just so that they would seem dark. Like there's, you know, not as much light getting there. So, and then I also didn't really have to draw too much. So you can see there's just like darkness in those windows. There we go. Sorry. There we go. And then there's like literally, there's stuff happening there. It's just kind of hard to make sense of what's happening. So when that happens for me, I don't worry too much about drawing the things that are happening, like the way that they look. Instead, what I do is I just draw like the shapes. So I might say, okay, well, this looks like there's a dark shape right there. There's some little like, there's a dark shape right here. And then I'll come back in later and adjust. Now, because I don't have anything like really, really dark, and I like to have like something blackish almost, I mix that red, that upper red, I think it was, with the Viridian, and I get a pretty good dark value. So that's what I'm going to use for my darkest darks. So I can put some of that in where I see it really dark, probably in the windows. Now over here in these windows, I'm going to do this bottom half is kind of brownish and this top half is kind of bluish. So I'm going to make the top, oh, wondering who was back there with me, my dog Lucy. I'm going to make the top this light blue, bluish green. And I'm just going to fill it all in. And it's kind of the same color as my windows. So I have to try to keep track of those. Otherwise I'm going to lose them. But I think that might be okay because I made the top ones too big. So I don't know if I'll be, you know, I have to repaint them anyway. So it's like, it's not that much of a loss if I lose them. And then this ends right at the top of that awning. So everything below that is going to be a darker color, and it's kind of brownish. So I'm going to make it kind of brown, a brownish. I mean, I don't have brown, but I'm going to use that pink. I'm going to mix a little bit of that green and turn this into like a purplish color right here. This is all going to be purplish of some sort. And I can add a little bit of that blue to it to create a few different shades of that purple. And again, I can come back to this. This also is pretty dark in this area. So, okay, that just gives me a general layout. Very helpful. Let me come back in and put in the windows. The windows are a little bit lighter, so I'm gonna use white. See if I can get them kind of blocked in properly. So 1 window, 2 window, 3 window. And if they don't fit, you know, change the shape of them if you like. I'm just trying to keep them about the same so they look like each other. They don't have to look like what the picture shows. One of my other favorite things is when I see these little fire escape stairs, stairwells, whatever, on the outside of the building. Love to draw those in. So I'm gonna just block in where they go. There. Now the top here, I'm gonna use some different shades of the same colors to develop some like architectural details. And then I can do that also at the top of the windows, because they do have some like little window framing right here and down here. That one's going to be a little harder to see because of the fire escape. Or no. Try to keep them lined up just so that they seem, I mean, it makes sense that they would all be kind of aligned because they're on the same floor. Sometimes they have a little like air conditioning unit in there, and I love to put those in. So if I see it, I'll usually put it in there. I wish I had one of those air conditioning units right now. Okay, so it's super rough, you can see, and I'm going to come in with a smaller brush. I usually will do like 2 rounds of painting before I start to draw. So I love a flat, because especially for architectural kind of imagery, because it's just so versatile. I can create nice straight lines, straight-ish lines using that. And this is a very stiff brush, so it gives me a nice crisp line. I'm gonna mix in a little of that green. I feel like I'm using that green as kind of like my shadow. So I'm gonna use that to put in some shadows here. I'm doing this at the bottom of the little framing, the window frame. This is the fire escape, so a little bit more there on those two. This also, there's like a shadow on every one of those little steps, so I'm just gonna put that there. Maybe make this a little bit bigger because I can see underneath it. So that means that I would have a wider line, I think. Okay, now I'm gonna use the same color, and I'm gonna start to block in some of the little windows now. This is 3, 6, 9, 12 little, I don't know if I could do all that. Let me see. So it'd be like 4 down. I don't know, that's so small. 2, I'm gonna do 3. 1, 2, 3. I couldn't fit, I mean, I could probably if I had like penciled it in with a pencil, but I didn't want to do that. So I'm just gonna do the same thing for each of them. So all of them are gonna get these like 9 little window panes. Not all of them are dark, so I'm gonna, oh look, see that barely fits. Make it a little wider. And also don't press on my brush as much, because if I press on my brush, I'm gonna get broader strokes. Some of these are pretty bright, like right here. It's even a little hard to see. 1, 2, 3. Like there's not a lot of contrast. I hear 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. One, 2, 3, and that'll be covered up by the fire escape. And something in the middle for these right here. 1, 2, and they don't all have to be that same shade. There could be some that are lighter than others. And again, this is gonna get covered by the fire escape, so I'm not gonna worry too much about the details there. The little air conditioning unit has like a little panel in the middle that looks darker. So I'm just gonna put that in. Okay, let's add some more lines. And a little bit more detail work here. I'm gonna mix some more red and green together to make this darker color here. And I will come back in later with my pencil, and that will be a good time for me to, you know, really crisp up some of these lines, add in smaller details that maybe my brush doesn't want to do very easily. But one of the goals I have at this stage is to try to make sure that everything has paint on it. So these little empty spaces, I want to make sure they're covered. So I want to make sure that nothing ends this stage with white space or white papers. White paper showing through. That's what I mean. Do a little more. Trying to move this out of the way, so hold on. There we go. Let's put right here. Ooh, it's still wet. Be careful. Gourmet foods. I wanted to do something like short, but think this would be really cute if you did something like this for like all the little businesses that you know and that you love. Because I'm trying to make it really like generic. You know, there's not a lot of indication of names of shops or anything like that. But having like the places that you like to shop will be really a cute like little design to create. Be cute to make something that like childhood references, and then that way you could gift it to somebody or make a card with it. I think that would be cute. Okay, so I wanted to add a little bit of this pink and red. Again, my goal when I do something like this, especially because I'm looking at the picture and there is some bright colors down here. I can use that as a place to put them in, but again, I want to tie it together with the other work, so I don't want it to feel like it doesn't match or it doesn't belong with the other ones. Sometimes when I'm drawing things like this, a good place to do this kind of stuff would be like, you can kind of be inventive and just draw in some, you know, like stickers on the wall or like flyers hanging on something. And so I tend to do that a lot in the windows, like these right here. I just put these shapes in, and I don't know what they are, but they just will allude to those kinds of things. And then the last thing I'm going to do in paint is just use my white to find some of those bright spots and bring them in before I come in with my pencil and my pen. I'm going to use a white pen also, so it doesn't have to be like complete here. But if there's bigger shapes, I do think that there's kind of like a difference between the way that the pen looks. Of course, we all know this, right? The way the pen looks and the way that the paint looks. So I just want to have some of that white in paint. I think it'll be good to have that. Some of these I can't even really see, but like there's a little white stain or something on that door there. So I'm gonna put that in. There's like some little lines on here on this window. Some right here next to the door. There's some steps that I hadn't really noticed before. There. You can put some like lines of like light on the windows if you want. This was a little like parking meter or something, or parking something or other right there. So it's not part of the front of the building. It's actually a little further in like that. I'm so glad that I took the time today to do this. I am enjoying this drawing so much more right now than I was when I was really like forcing myself to work on this. I feel so much like happier with it. Okay. So I drew this weird line, which is like a wire that's coming off the top of the building and lands over here. But when I come in with pencil, I think it's going to look better if I do it in the pencil. I also had thought about changing and doing all the line work in pen, which I kind of wish I had done that. I think it would have made the drawing part easier and more enjoyable. But I had already started in pencil and I didn't want it to look different. If I had been smart, I would have done a little bit of the pen in there so that way I could use them both interchangeably. Okay, so while that part is drying right there, I'm gonna come back over here and do these letters right here in white. I hope I save this because I just haven't been saving things, and I'm like, oh my gosh, where's that picture? And it's just really, really hard to find. See, there's none of this pen in my drawing yet, so I might need to incorporate it, which I think is okay. Now the letters on this sign are a little foreshortened, so I'm gonna try to capture that. And this one I want to imply that they're cut off, so that one I'll just work on it with the pencil, because this one is more like it's a one-way sign with an arrow, so one way. Would have been, it should have been dark on the outside, but again, I was trying to tie in that color and put in a little more detail right now. Those people, I think I'm just gonna leave them like that. I don't feel like I want to draw anymore on them. This is all gonna get cut out. That was supposed to be Broadway, but that, oh, I really foreshortened that, and now it doesn't look like anything in there. It's okay. I'm gonna leave that alone. Let's go to the last part. I'm excited to finish this. And I do apologize because I think you guys are getting... Just put some of this pencil in here. And here I kind of let my lines be very irregular. I think that's one of the charming things about something that's so, normally so geometric, so like stiff and structured, like drawing buildings, is when they are drawn with a little bit of wonky lines. I feel like that looks so cute. It ends up making them look really, really charming. I wonder if somebody was like using the internet, like getting internet or something right here. Okay, I'm gonna put these in right here. Don't fully know what's happening here, but we're gonna try our best to figure it out. This should have been this way. Whoops. Let's go ahead and make these little, like, framing, this like crown on top of the windows a little bit more defined. I like to do like a little angular line there. I might darken some of the windows just to see that little, the lines between the panes of glass. I want to be able to see that a little bit more clearly. Shadow on the bottom. This one wasn't as dark. There's some parts right here that are a little bit darker, so I think I'll darken those. But the rest were a little bit lighter. And the little frames were like kind of two-part. Trying to fit 6 to 9 of these little panes in each one. In some cases, if there's like a little air conditioner unit, window unit, it might be blocking some of them. I don't know, this is gonna be a little rough, and I mean, that's, I think that's the charm. I don't know, would you agree? Because otherwise, you know, I mean, I guess that would be kind of cool if it was just like really, you know, precise, and you'd be like, wow, how does somebody have the patience for that? It's just not something that I am that interested in for my own drawing practice. But if it's part of yours, if you love like that realism, go for it. You can pull out a ruler. You can be really precise and clean about it. That coffee is still going strong. I think I have another cup over there. Oh, this kind of got a little flattened here, so it's okay. I also feel like putting in a little bit of irregular, texture, I guess pencil texture in the windows makes it seem like, you know, there's like things in the way. There are things that maybe we're not able to see. And it just makes it seem a little bit more natural that there would be variations in the windows. Like it's not always going to be exactly the same, like every pane of glass is going to look the same. There might be different things behind that section. I'm not really sure what's in this area, so I'm just trying to put a combination of lines and shapes and maybe be inspired by the picture. See what's in there, see what you're seeing. I'm just keeping it very loose. Wow, it's such a pretty day outside. Even though I don't have air conditioning, I don't know, I was thinking how funny it was. I was like, maybe the universe just wants me to have a hot yoga practice because it'll be better for my muscles, which are healing from my back injury. So I was like, you know, I think that's what the universe wants me to do and why they took away my air conditioner. Obviously, I am joking or half joking. I don't know. So again, a combination of shapes. Just trying to make them feel like they tie together. There we go. Are there any more little strings that I can connect? Okay, I think that looks great. Done. Now let's cut out those little empty spaces. A knife would be good. I don't know, it really depends on the size and the thickness of your paper. This paper is very thick. I can't remember what paper this is. I want to say it's Stonehenge. I don't know why I was so hell-bent on doing this. I had been thinking about it, and my problem right now is I'm thinking, how am I going to display it? Like, let's say I really love this. What would I do with it? I was going to try putting it in a frame. And then maybe I'll put it in a frame and hang it up. Let's see. I will show you. Okay. I think I need some new knives. I can tell this is it's a little dull. I'm gonna make these a little bit thicker than I drew them because otherwise they might fall apart. I don't know, maybe that's okay. If it's in a frame, I guess that wouldn't matter. Let's see if I can unattach all of that. Yay, oh, that's cute. Wait till we have those little windows open. Oh, those are gonna be so cute. Let's do the ones on the inside first because they're the more likely, they would be harder to remove with this all unstable. In fact, if you can, I recommend you cut out the innermost parts first and then work towards the outside. And when you're cutting with your knife, cut away from your body. Try not to put yourself in a position where your knife is pointed towards your hand or your body in any way. So if it means you got to rotate everything around a million times, do that. There's my cutout. Now let's close up the book. Let's test it. See, I even love it like that. Okay. Here is the final product. This is the outside, and then we open it. So it just seems like I should do something here. And then I have this cute little building, and then this cute little building, and then this cute little building, and then this cute little building, and there we go. A giant long thing. And you can put this like this if you want it to look a little different, I guess. So I've finished my little booklet and I'm super happy to be done with it. The product is really cute. Like, I enjoy it. There's a lot that I like about it, but what do you do with it? What would you do with this? It was a challenging series of drawings to do. What have I taken away from this process? Number one, it's okay to stop working on something if you don't want to work on it. I think the other benefit of this is just that, you know, I had this idea in my head for a long time of doing something like this. And I just had to scratch the itch. Like, what am I going to do with this? I don't know. Do I like it? Yeah, sure. But why? Like, what's the purpose of it? I mean, it would be really hard to hang it up. It would be hard to frame it. You know, it'd be hard to call this final work. Maybe I could like scan them. Oh, maybe I'll scan them. Then I'll separate them into like building stickers or something like that. Maybe I'll do that, or make stationery from them. I think that's what I'm going to do. So I guess I just learned something that I can do with this. So I think they're just like, you can see how important it is for, you know, you to meet your needs emotionally and mentally, because I think I had a lot of stressors happening in my life this month, and it made it hard for me to want to work. But I'm hopeful that my air conditioning is going to get fixed and everything's going to be hunky-dory around here, and I'm going to be excited to draw again next month. Thank you for listening and watching this very like balmy and sweaty video. I'm grateful for you. I'm thankful that you're here. Thank you so much for watching, and until next time, happy drawing. Bye.